This author, for example, shows that actually the district plan should entail objectives of creating an enabling environment, and basically he's bringing what should be in the plan, which is what he promised that he was gonna bring in the earlier introduction. So before leaking the introduction of the body, that was the line that was going to show justifiable recommendations. And as I can see from this sample paragraph, he's bringing, however, what is lacking here is, however much he has brought in the idea, he has explained that one thing for sure missing is the evidence part. And as we've already said, the idea should be there, the explanation should be there, if then the evidence. So you would have brought in where it has been considered or where it has been mentioned as being pivotal to improving health, gender and health in a community or a region. So there is lack of evidence and there is no reference for that matter, which makes paragraph lacking. So make sure to consider evidence in your paragraph and also look at relevant referencing, and then as well as relevant examples where necessary to make the body look absolutely incredible. So going back to the work itself, it proceeds. I think this is the biggest part of the study, so make sure not to cheat it, especially if you've been given a word count or rather number of pages to produce. So do not cheat it, give it explanation, reference it, give it evidence where necessary, examples. So the last part of this is the conclusion, and what must be considered in concluding a work is actually the aim is to leave your reader feeling that you've done a great job. You may have to include a brief summary of what you have covered in relation to the essay or title. Then you've got to reference to the larger issue and then evaluation of the main arguments, but as well as highlighting the most important aspects for your conclusion to actually convince the reader that you have covered some great job. Let's see whether this particular author looked at it. Yes, the author actually has a conclusion, and as already pointed out, it doesn't have to put a heading that this is the conclusion. So to make it more look more like flowing, he says conclusively it is important to note that the strategies, but I would say he would have come up with a summary of these approaches or strategies and actually highlight the most important arguments against these ones before actually coming to advise or to show that they overlap and that they have been pursued differently, because this would come in, it's a very important statement, but I think the summary of the main approaches would have done better this conclusion. However, it is good that there is a conclusion for that matter. So make sure to include a brief summary of what you've covered in relation to the essay or title, and then refer to the larger issue, in this case towards gender inequality, and you're trying to make improvisation for the approaches that can be considered, which is a very important thing. And then you could look at the main arguments and then highlight the most important aspects that should be considered for the plan, which is very, very important. That is the end of this particular essay, but follow the videos and subscribe, because in the next video I'll be talking about what you should consider that has to do with grammar, that has to do with arrangement of words, and what should actually not show in the work, and what you should make sure you include in your work for your work to look appetizing to the reader. Make sure to subscribe, as we shall have a lot about research, about writing, about some certain titles, how to make objectives of research, how to review literature, write methodology for different types of study before we actually go to data analysis and other aspects which are very crucial in research and report writing.